This is a video about the Sasquatch community on YouTube, which there is a Sasquatch community on YouTube. I'm going to talk a little bit about my experiences and my beliefs a little bit right now. In Ohio, we call him the grass man. You know, there's different states have different names. Florida calls it the skunk ape. But in Ohio, we call him the grass man. The first time I ever saw a grass man, I was 10 years old. I was probably about 15, 20 feet away from one. And I saw the back side of it. I believe it knew since I was young, and it scared me. It did not want to show its face to me. But it was warning me to get out of the area. Now, this is what these creatures do like this. This is called escorting. They're not going to hurt you, but they want you out of their area, so they scare you. And they get you out of their area, and they do just that. Now, back in November, this was in Preble County, halfway between, Houston Woods, Oxford area, and Camden, on State Route 732. I did hear a vocalization, and it sounded like these things were communicating with coyotes. I don't know if there's some kind of feud going on between the coyotes and this creature, but definitely the coyotes really react to this creature compared to other ones. A lot of the times when you hear coyotes, you'll hear this creature with it. And Terry was there with me too, and she said she heard it, and she had never heard that before. That was the first time she had ever had an encounter with it. So I knew I wasn't just hearing things, because she heard it too. It was ooh, kind of a sound like that. And it was kind of sound like it was communicating back. There was all these coyotes, and they were upset. And the way I know that you communicate with them, there's many ways these creatures communicate. One way is the and this thing back, ooh. This thing answered back 2 different times doing that. This was Tuesday night. We went and saw a friend in the Trotwood area now, but this is kind of the outskirts of Trotwood, kind of the outskirts of Dayton. There's a lot of field, there's a lot of trees, there's a lot of wood area. This is off of Union Road, almost kind of where Union and 35 meet. We heard these coyotes again. And there was this very primitive sound, this very primitive creature. It's not like a primitive man, communicating back and forth with them. So this is the second time within a year I've heard a grassman vocalization. And Terry said she heard it too. Tiki heard it too. There's many sounds these creatures make to communicate. You kind of have the like that. There's that low growl, that low tone they have. Then they also whistle back and forth to each other. I can't really whistle, so I can't really do that one. It's been known their language. They call their language samurai chatter. It sounds very like the language. It actually sounds like it's Asian. That's why they call it samurai chatter. And they communicate back and forth with each other through other things other than vocalization. Wood knocks. When you hear things knocking on trees, things will answer back to you. That's how they know where they are and how to get a hold of each other. These creatures don't usually hurt people. They'll usually, like I said, they'll escort you and scare you away. And one of the ways is they throw rocks. These creatures will throw rocks at you. They will not hit you, but they will throw close so let you know this is their territory. And to get out. And this is a creature that we need to respect. Creator put this here for a reason. This creature is very intelligent, and it can camouflage itself. All my life, I've been told, I'm crazy for believing in this, but it wasn't really until I came to YouTube and I saw the Sasquatch community. I saw how many people truly believed in this. Some of these pages have thousands of subscribers. With other mythological creatures, you don't hear reports of, we saw a unicorn here, we saw, a fairy here. You don't really, hear about that. But with Sasquatch, you hear about that a lot. In Ohio, with the Grassman, Ohio has almost more sightings than any other state. Like, Washington State obviously has the most. Oregon's got a lot up there. Northern California, they get a lot up there. British Columbia as well. Some of the other states over towards the east of the country, not so much, but Ohio, Illinois, and even Florida. I believe Michigan too. And Texas, kind of the midway. Those are the biggest states for all these. This is where the most people see. And I live in a state where I'm more likely to see this and have an encounter with this again. I want to interact with them. I want to get to know them more. I want to study them, and I want to protect them. I've mentioned this before, and I will always bring this up. The 1974 Washington State Atlas, the Environmental Atlas. This is something the military and the government puts together. I don't know how often they do this. They put it together for each state, and there's a page in this. This is a book. They took tax-paying money. The government took our money to talk about this creature in a book. And to there's awareness of the Sasquatch. There's awareness of the Grassman. This book right here is proof. Now, this goes back, I love all things paranormal. They interest me, but the Sasquatch is the top priority to me. That is what interests me the most, because that's, with ghosts, they live amongst us, but they're not physical. Aliens, they are physical, but they're not really. There is rumors that, beliefs that they might come from under the ocean and underground, but, mostly from space. But the Sasquatch would be a paranormal physical creature that walks amongst us, and it hides from us, and it is hidden from us. This started for me when I was about 10. I remember reading about Albert Ostman, I believe that's how his name was, a man that was camping in British Columbia in 1924. This was also around the time that there was a group of loggers that had like some kind of cabin they were staying in, attacked and bombarded by Sasquatches. But this person fell asleep in a sleeping bag. He was camping out alone in the middle of British Columbia, and some creature picked his sleeping bag up and dragged him for miles and took him back to his cave, where he saw the family of the Sasquatch. I've spent a lot of time on YouTube, hours at a time, watching Sasquatch videos, and I'll tell you, a good chunk of them, 90% of them are bullshit. Some costume, or it's blurry camera effects, but every once in a while you come across a video and that's it. That's the real deal. And one of them I want to speak about is the Patterson-Gimlin footage. This was 1967 at a place called Bluff Creek in California. This is flat out not blurry. This is the best piece of evidence ever. And I've seen videos of men in monkey suits, and you can flat out tell the suit. This I do not believe is a suit. There's that one still where you can see that creature look at you, and you see the breasts on that creature. You see the muscles in the legs. And people have, tried to disprove it, like that's just a man in a suit walking. The way that creature, the part below the knee to the ankle, the way that creature bends its leg at an angle that people can't walk at. You see the breast on that animal, and you see that's an awful damn good suit for 1967. I don't buy that. The Patterson-Gimlin footage is legit. Another one I can think of is the Paul Freeman footage. This is like the second best footage. When he walks up and you see it walk by the tree. I believe that footage too. You can see that creature. You can see the way these things move. They don't move like normal people. Their stride, the amount of feet in between, these prints. And that's another thing too. We found prints out there where the dermal ridges on humans, I believe, go horizontally to vertically, and on most apes they go another way. But the dermal ridges on these casts do not match that. It's something completely different. And you're seeing miles of tracks where these feet, the amount of feet in between these steps is far. And this creature's been walking a while. when I was like I said, this started when I was about 10 years old. I didn't know how to pronounce the word. I remember seeing Bigfoot, but I kept seeing this word they called it. I called it a Sasquatch. I didn't know how to pronounce it until someone told me later it was called Sasquatch. And me and Terry even we talk about the creature now when we go out looking for it. It's kind of like how I was when I was young. We joke around. We call them sasquatchies instead of Sasquatches, because how I called it when I was a kid, a Sasquatchy. We're like, we go out and we're going to go look for the Sasquatchies, our Sasquatchy friends that want to interact with us and are waiting for our arrival. Even every night when I pray to Creator, the last thing is kind of a playful, fun thing I say. I tell him to please let me interact and eventually see the Sasquatchies. So I believe I have a better chance of contacting these creatures than most people do. I have a feeling they're going to trust me. The way Creator has put these energies into me. It gave me the ability to feel Mother Earth in a way a lot of people haven't, especially when you take your shoes off and put your feet into the ground and you absorb the energies of Mother Earth. That's how you're going to bond with the animals. I think that's all I have to say out there to a lot of these people out there researching. Keep doing it. To the true researchers and not the hoaxers, keep doing what you're doing. But at the same time, we need to protect this creature and not let the government rip it apart. Because I'll tell you what, if this creature was ripped apart, Creator's going to be very pissed off. And Creator will punish us for that. We are to protect this creature. This creature is sacred. To what I believe in, Creator, this is something very special to the earth. And this ain't just all over the earth. This ain't just, in this country. They have Sasquatch, Bigfoot over here. But in other countries, they call it the Yeti over in Asia. And I believe in Europe, they call it the Almas. This is a sacred creature. It's to be protected. But also learn knowledge about it. One day I hope to be face to face with one and have its trust. And to get to know my Sasquatchy friends a little better.